guys, I'm Becca. For today's video, I have another book haul for you guys. I feel like I do a book haul at least once a month, and as soon as I finish filming one book haul, it seems like I already acquire new books. So I have a little stack of books to show you guys that I've acquired over the past month-ish. Some of them are more anticipated releases that came out, and others are just ones that I happen to pick up. So let's get started. The first book I have to show you guys is Goodbye Perfect by Sarah Bernard. If you guys have been here for a while, you might know that Sarah Bernard is one of my favorite authors. She wrote A Quiet Kind of Thunder, which is my favorite book of all time. I have a hard time topping that book. So when I saw another booktuber reviewing this one, I knew that I had to order it right away. All that I know about Goodbye Perfect is that the premise deals with a student-teacher relationship, which is something that I've never read before. I'm a little nervous about it, but I trust Sarah Bernard and her writing, so I really hope that I'm going to end up enjoying it. The next book is definitely jumping outside of my comfort zone a little bit. Once I heard the premise, I had to pick up A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Brigid Kemmerer. This is my first Brigid Kemmerer book, and the reason I picked it up is because it is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. I've been in a huge slump lately, which is why videos have been very infrequent. So far, this book has pulled me out of this slump. I started it yesterday, really, and I'm almost 100 pages in. So I'm super excited to keep continuing on with the story. I love retelling so much, especially Beauty and the Beast, because that's one of my favorite fairy tales. So I cannot wait to tell you guys more about this book during my wrap up. Next, I picked up Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson. I've actually never read Speak, but Laurie Halse Anderson's newest book, Shout, just came out, which is more of a memoir, and she actually came to my city to do a book signing, and I didn't end up going, and I'm really kicking myself for that. But when I saw this gorgeous cover of Speak, I knew that I had to add it to my collection. I also picked up one of my most anticipated books of the entire year, Meet Me in Outer Space by Melinda Grace. This is about a girl who is navigating college but also is dealing with auditory processing disorder. I've never read about that, but I'm super interested in. Of course, if you follow my channel or you've been here at all, you know that I love a book that has any sort of like deaf, hard of hearing, sign language, hearing devices, auditory issues. So this is definitely a new perspective that I haven't read from before, and I'm really excited to read from it. And I believe that it is also own voices, which is really cool too. And it's a debut novel, which is so exciting. I also grabbed The Summer of Geordi by Amy Spalding. And this is the April book for the Rainbow Reads Book Club, hosted by Alex from Pucks and Paperbacks. And in this book, we follow a girl named Abby who is applying for a summer internship at a local boutique in hopes that the internship will turn into a job in the fall. Usually there's only one internship, but this year the owner has decided to choose two girls, so they are competing for the job in the fall. And over the course of the summer, they fall in love. And it's a really cute romance. I already read this book and I enjoyed it, though it wasn't entirely my cup of tea, but I'll share some more of my thoughts about that during my wrap up. The next book I picked up is Peter Darling by Austin Chant. This is a reimagining of Peter Pan if he was trans and grew up as Wendy Darling. And now he has to return to Neverland, but the Lost Boys have grown up and he's not really sure who the real villain may be. I'm so beyond excited to read this book. Another retelling, of course, of a classic tale with an LGBT twist. I don't think that it gets much better than that, honestly. Josh actually picked up The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo, and it has been on my list to pick up, but I hadn't gotten around to it yet, so I'm really glad that he surprised me with this one. And in The Poet X, we follow a girl named Zayamara, I believe I'm saying that correctly, maybe not, who feels unheard in her Harlem neighborhood until she joins her school's slam poetry club and feels heard for the first time ever. This is a debut novel and it's written in verse, so I'm really excited to fly through this one. I always fly through books written in verse. I'm also really glad to have gotten one of my other anticipated books of the year, Small Town Hearts by Lily Vale, and the tagline is rule number 1, never fall for a summer boy. This book is so stinking sweet, and it takes place in a sleepy Maine town where the main character loves her life. She works at a little coffee shop and she just loves her little town. She loves small town life, but her friends are dreaming of bigger and better things, and after one reckless night, the 3 of them threaten to break up, and she's worried that she's going to lose her friend group, not to mention that her ex-girlfriend comes back into town, which brings a lot of memories, both good and bad, and a new summer boy is hanging around a lot more that she just can't help herself from wanting to get to know. So it seems like it's going to be full of romance and drama and sleepy towns, and that is everything that I love in a book. This cover is what drew me in. The mention of a sleepy town is what makes me want to learn more. And I can't wait to tell you guys about my thoughts on this book once I read it. And the last book I have for you guys today, it is by far my most anticipated book of the entire year. I am so happy that I finally have it in my hands. It is How to Make Friends with the Dark by Kathleen Glasgow. Kathleen Glasgow also wrote Girl in Pieces, which is one of my favorite books that I have ever read. I love her writing. It's so lyrical. She's not afraid to handle dark and heavy topics, and this book seems to be no different. How to Make Friends with the Dark is about a girl named Tiger who loses her mom suddenly and is left with a lot of grief, and basically has to get over this grief and learn how to live again. That's it. And it's gonna wreck me. I know it will, but I just love this author so much that I'm ready for it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have this book in my hands, you guys. So there you go. Those are some books that I have acquired in the past month-ish. Let me know what books you've picked up recently down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.